through this article, and it is Greta Thunberg, and I think wishing for a death, although it's tasteless or whatever and all that, it's crossing the line. I'm becoming increasingly uncomfortable with this girl. This girl who parrots 30-year-old talking points and then is held up as some sort of finally. A common one for her is she's doing more than any world leader. And it's like she's doing nothing. She's not actually done anything other than parrot fear. And parrot, as I said, 30-year-old talking points. The main one of which is that we've only got 12 years. The thing AOC said it, but then she disavowed it as well, if you believe that, you'll believe anything once people presented it with the facts. And the fact is, it was an EU report that said, if we start working against global warming, as in reducing our climate, reducing our CO2, if we start in another 12 years, if we don't do anything for 12 years, it will cost 44% more to hit the targets that we've set. That's what they said, 12 years. Now, a lot of freaks like Greta, and I'm assuming Gabby, read 12 years and just repeated it ad infinitum. 12 years, 12 years, 12. We've only got 12 years, we've only got 12 years. And they're like, and then when people who also haven't read it, who also haven't bothered to do the slightest bit of research on it, or don't watch Trigger Warning and get themselves informed properly, those people go, the world's not going to end in 12 years. And then the logic then goes, well, it's not going to literally end. It's not going to be like Armageddon. It's the point of no return, idiot. It's like, no, it's not. It will just cost a lot more to implement these things. Now, she's been put at the front of the likes of Extinction Rebellion and Greenpeace and all the rest of it for one reason and one reason only. If you then criticise these ideas, you are told you are bullying a girl. The whole Gamergate thing did the same thing. They just pushed women. They pushed that fucking Anita Sarkeesian. I remember a guy at Fab Radio, the guy that does the book reviews, saying, well, you can't criticise her, can you? It's a trap. But he said it as in, you can't. I was like, well, fuck that. Don't tell me I can't criticise someone just because of their gender or the colour of their... It's ridiculous, man. Now, she gets hauled up. And the reason being, and this is the reason, right? The argument, the economic argument for socialism has failed. And that's what these people want. They hold her up as this firebrand, as this wonderful thing because of the climate crisis, the climate emergency, as they keep saying. But when you actually sit them down and say, well, what are we going to do about it? And Greta parrots lies that she's been told that the government's doing nothing. Whereas in America, biodiversity for the last 10 years has been stabilising and then going up in the last 5 years. It's getting better. People are doing something and things are getting better. So to then say that nobody's doing anything is a nonsense. And this is why they want socialism. They want you as terrified as possible so they can take full control. So they can destroy your economic freedom. And you want to look at the Green New Deal? Caroline Lucas said it the other day. I think she was on Newsnight or something. She's like, Google it, look it up, please. Do it for yourself. People don't do that. They just see her passion and her how sure she is and go, yes, we do need to do something about the environment. We do. Ignoring what we do, ignoring what is happening. And then you go look at the Green New Deal and what's their answer? Because the socialists have lost the economic answer. The Green New Deal is print money and give it to environmental companies. That's the plan. Print money. Things are going to go wrong. The world's going to die. So let's just destroy our economy there and then. You need socialism, and not even democratic socialism. Backdoor, sidestepping democracy. They want a panel that has a decision on every law that goes through. They want to have a voice there. They're like that horrible fucking, the little skivvy guy next to the king whispering evils into his ear. That's what they are. Because socialism destroys social mobility, destroys wealth. The argument's done. Everywhere it's implemented, if you're lucky, life is hard. Things go wrong if you're lucky. But I've stood on the killing fields in Cambodia. I have stood there and seen what happens. When you try and make humans equal, the more you do that, the more brutality there is. And now they're hiding behind the environment. Well, 99% of scientists agree. Do you know what 99% of scientists agree on? That global warming is affected by human activity. That's it. That's it. But they then apply that to whatever dog shit thing they want. And here's the thing, man. I accept that. It's true. We are having an effect on the climate. We are doing. Of course we are. But if you don't sign up to these people, if you don't sign up to this absolute fear freak out, then you get labelled a climate denier. And it's like, no. It's a trap. You can, and I've seen it. I've seen it in interviews when they've been debating this. Nearly every interview. There was an amazing one. That guy from Spiked, and he said, "Yeah, I totally agree. There's an issue with the climate." And then they literally got someone on the phone from Greenpeace and went, "Well, we've been dealing with these climate deniers for years." And it's like, he's not denying it, but there has to be a same thing. Net zero carbon. You actually sit these fuckers down and say, "How do you want to do it?" And they go, "Well, we need to invent a technology." Or, "Well, destroying the economy isn't going to do that." But anyway, I want to have a quick look at this. How Greta Thunberg became the new front in the Brexit culture war. Brexit? What the hell has she got to do with Brexit? Really? The only thing that's going to solve the climate issue is freedom, is capitalism, is wealth. The wealthier you are, the more of a shit you are capable of giving. That's it. Look at the countries who are doing best, who are working the hardest on it. What's the thing? The more economic... I can't even. South America's dealing with... It's got a huge socialism problem at the moment. Huge. And they're the ones causing the problem. They're the ones destroying the planet. They're the ones... That's like the sinkhole of economic... of diversity. I can't think of the word right now. Animal and vegetable and all the rest of it. They're the sinkhole. They're the problem. They're the knock-on effect. There's more trees in Europe than there were 100 years ago. We've been working our balls off on it. But no, let's find out about how she connects to fucking Brexit. I've not read this. She looks both younger than her age. Okay. Oh, The Guardian, man. Editorialise. Please. Is this Mark's opinion? Nope, it's in the news section. Okay, cool. Let's just. He stares unsmiling from the cover. Right, let's just skip the first paragraph, shall we? Because it's nonsense. Back in the 90s, posing for Men's Magazine in your knickers was a rite of passage for young actors. Oh, who cares? This isn't news. This is the perennial right-wing agent provocateur Aaron Branks tweeted, "Freaking yachting accidents do happen in August." Yes, they do. That was a poorly... Yeah, no. I mean, people can joke about whatever they want. Of course they can. But about a kid, it's a little bit creepy. And ultimately, it does dilute the fact that she's being put up as a shield of defence for all these terrible ideas that aren't new ideas. They've been saying the same thing in the fucking 80s, man. Computers were rising in the 80s. And everyone said the same thing as this Yang Gang nonsense now. What are we going to do? All the jobs are going to be done. Exactly the same thing. All the jobs will be gone. 40% of jobs are going to be lost. It almost to the dot. The percentages were the same as the fear right now. And it's always the same thing. They're just fucking socialists trying to take your freedom away, trying to take power from you because they think they know best, because they've got so little imagination and so little concept of how the world is and so little respect for you as a person to make decisions about your life that they, with their closeted, that fucking Owen Jones earlier with like, as a white man nonsense. They're so stupid that they actually think that central planning will work this time. This time it will. Yes, automation is going to kill a lot of jobs. It's also going to create a lot of jobs. It's also going to revolutionize healthcare in an almost unimaginable way. It's going to be amazing. And the same way that computers gave us more free time to enrich our lives, automation's going to do the same fucking thing. Don't hand all your power over to some Andrew Yang. Oh, Jesus, some statist fool. Anyway, let's find out why Greta is about Brexit. I can't even talk about this stuff we're getting here. Anyway, something about female eco-warriors seems to bring out the worst in a certain kind of man. No! It's the ideas, man. It's the ideas. Oh, God. This is it. This is the creation of the Shield, isn't it? Well, it's men, isn't it, eh? And then there's a woman that doesn't like her. It's like, well, we'll just ignore that, shall we? And here we go with the Guardian's usual point of attack. I want to find out about how Greta Thunberg became the new front in the Brexit culture war, right? So here we go. Whether it's Nigel Farage accusing Meghan Markle of destroying... What? Wait, but that's a reasonable accusation. Or the Australian shock jock Alan Jones suggesting this week that the New Zealand Prime Minister should have a sock shoved down her throat for daring to argue that Australia go further in reducing emissions. Oh, Jesus Christ. But you can say that about a man, can't you? This is straight away sexist, isn't it? Criticism of women, jokes about women. You can say this stuff about Boris all day long. You can stand in the street with Boris Baby with like the most horrific messaging about Boris. And because there's a cock between his legs, that's fine, isn't it? This is sexist. You automatically see women as less. It's the only way that this works. It's the only way that this mindset works is if women are less than you. They are delicate little princesses that need protecting, aren't they? Fuck off. I mean, I shocked. Yeah, all right, fair enough. I think I'm going to need context for that. But so what? Who do they think they are, these women telling us how to live? No. That's the thing. They are not above criticism. If a woman says something and it is criticised, that is allowed. Nigel Farage has every right to accuse Meghan Markle of anything. That's the whole point. That's equality. That's what we want. Well, that's not what they want because they're bigots. Bigot fucking communists. That want slavery. Slavery with a happy face on it. It's not just men who bait climate crisis. Oh, here we go with Julia Hartley-Brewer. Tweeted this week. Blah, 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 blah. Over a picture of Thunberg at sea that she'd just booked flights for a winter sun holiday with level of guilt being felt 0. Well, yeah. Why not? I mean, do you ever think it's weird about this Greta thing? Like, yachts were evil. A week ago, 2 weeks ago, yachts were evil. It was something I saw every time there was a story about a billionaire or a wealthy politician or anyone that I don't know, any businessman with a yacht. It was always the same thing. These NPCs just go into the same thing. There is never a reason to own a yacht, ever. It is disgusting. That money could be used to pay for a school, to pay for teachers, to pay for healthcare. There is no excuse. It is evil. Yachts are evil, decadent wastes of money, right? And then Greta gets in and everyone's like, whoa! I love it. I love the lack of self-awareness. This is let them eat cake, isn't it? You know the story of that? People are starving. And Marie Antoinette was so disconnected from it. Well, it's like, we'll let them eat cake. People were starving because they weren't free. Give them freedom. There's an abundance. That's how it works. Always. And that's what this is, isn't it? It's let them eat cake. I'm going to get a yacht to New York. I'm going to take 2 weeks to sail on millions of pounds worth of equipment to sail. And everyone's like, she's so brave. She's starting a conversation, isn't she? No, these are conversations we've been having that I can remember personally for 30 years. But obviously there was the stuff in the 70s. You know, we were all supposed to be dead by overpopulation and starvation in the 70s. It always goes on. Always, 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 always. From when we first built factories, there was news reports saying this carbon could cause problems with the environment right from the start. She isn't starting a conversation. She's repeating the same shit that she was taught in school, that I was taught in school. I'm 37. I was taught this stuff in school as well. She isn't starting any kind of conversation. And wanting to not get a plane, which understandably, a lot of people would troll the shit out of her for that. Of course they would. Of course they would. But why not Skype him? If you I love this shit. Alright, let's all just sail everywhere then. Let's take 2 weeks off from our lives to just sail to a conference. Shall we? Or we'll bike or walk, or she gets the train and everyone's going, oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. Whereas she's advocating for things that means that trains won't exist anymore. Because the economy will be fucked. No one will be able to afford to get on a fucking train. Apart from her, like. Getting on a yacht. I can't wait. I can't wait till we find out in a month when they're evil again. Eh? Disgusts me. Anyway, let's try and actually get onto the point of this piece. Where's the Brexit point? Why did The Guardian do this? I can't even talk about this because they're throwing so much shit at it. So much context. So you're just raging. You're like, yeah, Julia Hartley-Brewer, Nigel Farage. Women. Just men hate women and blah, 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 blah. And let's just ignore the fact that, a group of wannabe slave owners are putting a child at the front of their organisation to deflect from the fact that they're just, it's selfishness rather than misogyny. That is surely the root cause of this rage at the very idea of being asked to give up any individual freedom. The Guardian. Individual freedom is what will save the planet. It's the only thing, not the planet, it's the human race. It's the only thing, baby. But I love how open this is. Let's read that again, shall we? In fact, let me make it a little bigger to make sure you can read it, shall we? There we go. It's selfishness rather than misogyny. Well, thanks for that. That is surely the root cause at this rage at the very idea of being asked to give up any individual freedom. There we go. Boom. We got there in the end, didn't we? And that's exactly what Brexit is. The worrying thing about Brexit for me, the core of it, right, is freedom. I was talking to someone the other day and I was like, well, are you personally happy about the fact that you elect people that vote on laws for other countries? Are you comfortable with that? And he was like, oh, yeah, I love the fact that we're all doing it together. And it's like, you're comfortable with, because they hide behind the fact that with the EU, we have a big say in it. We always say that, well, we've got a big voice there because of our population. We can dominate other countries with our will. And, these same people that are always going on about colonisation, imperialism and that, when they talk about the EU, they just switch that part of the brain off and go, isn't it great that we can make laws for other countries? Now, here's the thing with Brexit, man. We leave. And one of three things happens. It's just a total clusterfuck and everything carries on as is. Or we get increased economic freedom, reduced interference with our lives. That's my hope. I don't think for a second it's going to happen. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody seems to give a shit about freedom in this country, and it's because of nonsense articles like this. The rage at the very idea of being asked to give up individual freedom. Oh my God! The rage. How dare you have rage at the thought of giving up more freedom. Anyway, that's what Brexit is. Freedom from other people making decisions on my life for me. But the third option, it also lifts off the restrictions for the likes of Corbyn and McDonald to just to bring about socialism in a much more dramatic manner than they're talking about right now. Going in and just carving up bits of businesses, something that ultimately would just destroy this country. And it's the exciting thing about Brexit, though, isn't it? What's going to happen? What's going to happen with Brexit? Will it lead to more freedom? Will it lead to more... it could be... We could become Hong Kong on coke. We could become the most powerful country on this planet. The number one. Literally number one. Potentially. With the freedom that's there. If anyone in the government has just got the balls and the actual... But this isn't what's going to happen, is it? If any of them just step back and go, I'm going to let you do what you want to do. If you want to make products to sell to Europe, we'll work around that. You can make stuff that fits in with their phenomenal body of regulations. If you want to dance that little dance with them, make products to do that. If you want to make products to just sell in the UK or sell in America, we'll do that. You don't have to pay all that European stuff. You don't have to faff with all that. No. If you actually genuinely give people the freedom to do that, phenomenal things will happen. I don't know though, man. Because the Conservatives and Labour, there's not much difference between the two of them at the moment. But, people draw these lines and exaggerate this and that, but there's not much difference between either of them, really. Ultimately. They're all bringing in ridiculous laws that are just negotiating how much they're going to control our lives. The Peterloo, 200 years Peterloo just went by. And everyone's like, oh yeah, do you remember when we were demanding the vote? Do you know what really happened at Peterloo? The government told the protesters, do not be armed, you are safe. They told the protesters to not arm themselves. They didn't want that many people, because everyone used to carry a blade back then. Everyone. All as standard. And the government told you to put down your weapons, and then they fucked them up, and they murdered them, and they butchered them. And they made it damn clear to the British people, do not arm yourself, do not stand up for yourself. We fucking own you. And what happened? We got the Guardian out of it. We got a vote. But we also got that core cultural thing of you are not allowed to be dangerous. We could fucking... And we'll do it now. We'll do it now. No one's allowed a gun. No one's allowed a knife. Blah, 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 blah. Why? Why? Ridiculous. Anyway, let's get on with this. To fly, drive, eat a steak, carry on with our oblivious lives. No, as if nothing was happening for greater good. Everyone knows. Everyone knows. But female climate campaigners are perhaps uniquely prone to press the buttons of what might be called toxic libertarians. No, I don't care. I mean, I'm not necessarily a toxic libertarian, but I don't care what your gender is. If you're pushing this bullshit, your vagina is not a magic shield. You are not above criticism. You are advocating for the removal of individual freedom. You can dance around with all this smears as much as you want. But I know what you want. You want fucking control over my... You know, the people in this country are so fucking pathetic. They really are. It does my head in. It's like just fucking... They're all like, oh, you're a Tory. Oh, you supporting Labour, are you? Neither of them are fit for purpose. Not even close. And this shit's allowed to fly. And we're all dancing around this bollocks of like, oh, well, far-right people do it, and all these labels and all this. And there's barely a handful of people in this country that genuinely believe in liberty. Genuine fucking freedom. It doesn't exist. We all look at France with the protesters there like, well, they know how to do it there. Yeah, they do, don't they? And we're all like, what are we going to do about knife crime? Who cares? Knife crime isn't caused by people having knives. It's caused by this structural bollocks. It's caused by kids, boys, being brung up by women. It's caused by the fact that our entire benefit system is built around removing men from homes, removing fathers. Farmer fathers. It's built around this closeted acceptance that we are not free, no self-respect, sucking on mummy government. for our money. It's fucking ridiculous. Fucking Conservatives, Labour, Liberal Democrats, they're all a fucking joke. They're all an absolute scum joke. Not a one of them talks about freedom. And The Guardian just carries on here talking about it like... the rage. You should feel rage. Because we've already stepped over that line. You already have to be careful what you tweet. You already have to be careful what you do. The council can come and tell you off. There's no fucking freedom. There's no property. There's no respect for people's rights in the slightest. Not even close to what it should be. Those fuckers in Hong Kong right now. Hong Kong was one of the most free places on earth. On earth. More free than America. And as a result, they were more wealthy. It's a phenomenal place. Amazing. Because it's free. And do you know what? Do you know why right now our government is just sitting on their hands and doing fuck all? Because they don't care. We should be at war with China right now. This is World War II levels of importance. All the rhetoric about liberty and freedom and all the other stuff, man, it's right there, right now in Hong Kong. They're stepping up and they're going to crush it. And why are we doing nothing? Because we don't give a shit. America and the EU should be invading right now and protecting them. They're there singing, waving American and British flags, singing our national anthem. Because they actually understand what we've got. But we've been so fucking spoilt for so long with all these little creeping things like, there you go, there you go, there you go, there you go. Don't worry, we'll take care of you. Government will wrap a nice big safe blanket around you and you don't have to survive or live or think about anything. We've done it for so long that we can't even identify right now. Fucking out there fighting with Antifa on the streets. Hammering over Extinction Rebellion. Taking boats into city centres and gluing your fucking tits to the floor. Whilst right now, actual liberty is being threatened in a meaningful way. And these fucks at The Guardian are writing these dickhead articles about it. Go fuck yourself. I can't even do this. Get on to Brexit, for fuck's sake.